As far as energy is concerned, I was thinking about these tall telephone poles. These are the long distance high energy lines. You know, versus these right here are local. These are longer distances, and they run on DC power, I believe, right? I mean, aren't those on DC and they're converted to AC for these lines? I'm not sure, exactly sure about that, but you see right here, this is a radio tower, but it's also a cell phone tower, and there are little cell phone antennas right there. So what I'm looking at is, oh, well, I just noticed this one. Whenever you stand in the city, if you're especially in the major city, you can just stand in one place, no matter where you are, and there's a 90% chance you're going to see cell phone towers. There's another one right there. One right there, and one right there. Okay, I know the light kind of blurred it out a little bit. And I bet you there's probably another one if I look around some more. Okay, I'm not seeing it right away. But I'm thinking that you can put windmills and solar panels on top of these high power lines. And now, not knowing about how electricity works and all that, what I'm thinking about is like a miniature sized windmill. So like on top of this, you have a smaller windmill spinning and can act as a power to the grid. It can add power to the grid. And it basically, in solar panel, I mean, this is a very sunny state. It's windy most of the time here in Texas. And in most cities like the Plains, Texas, Phoenix, the windy cities, Chicago, and many cities like that, they can put these windmills on top of these poles and have them distributed throughout the city. And this will reduce the amount of power that we have to generate from coal tremendously. And it's just, even if it adds a small percentage, let's say 2%, that's a lot better than 0%. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about adding a windmill on every one of those high towers or high poles like that, and you've seen the bigger ones that those very long distances, the huge ones. You know, they can put windmills on those and solar panels if it's a city that has good sun throughout the year. And this city does. It's sunny most of the year. Now we have a storm coming in tomorrow, but how often does that happen? Not very often. So that's what I'm talking about. Is we can really add. I mean, that part right there, one windmill will probably add 1% of the electricity to the grid. If we had one to every pole, can you imagine the amount of power we can generate? And then I'm talking about small, not the big ones you see out in the country areas. I'm thinking about on the smaller telephone poles, they have those, they look like turbine engines. And they can put those on every one of these poles to help generate some power as well. Now that will probably generate 0.2%. But the thing is, 0.2% on every pole, it will add up eventually to 200%, 300%. Okay? We're talking about a complete reduction of having to dig up our earth and reduce our resources. Now, the earth does produce plenty of coal. There's plenty of coal. Don't let the environmentalists fool you. However, imagine how much power we can generate if we install these windmills on every single pole in the city. It will be a tremendous reduction of how much electricity we got to produce in the current way we're doing it today. And any lakes and oceans and rivers that has a lot of current, they can install those turbine engines under the lakes, putting some type of net over it so that the fish won't get chalked up in it. You know what I mean? So I'm talking about some great advantages to this, and that's all I got to say about that. I just kind of had a thought.